Vayigash. So last week we talked about the Torah talked about Yosef, annoying his brothers back and forth. He puts blame on them that you guys stole my money, my cup, and Binyamin is the one who actually stole it. He will be my servant, and you guys can go back home. So in this week, Vayigash, it says that Yehuda approached him again and he said, let me tell you something. It's not going to go like this. We came here the first time. You asked us, do you have any brothers? Do you have any father? We said, you have an old father, Avzaken, and there's a young boy in his household, which is Binyamin. His brother, which is Yosef, that here he's talking to, he's dead. And Binyamin is the one left from his mother because Rachel gave birth to two boys. One is Binyamin, one is Yosef. Yosef is dead, and our father Yaakov loves Binyamin. We cannot separate them from each other. He said, no, you have to bring him here. I have to make sure you guys are truthful. So we begged our father. He didn't want to send Binyamin because we didn't have any money, any more food. We came here with Binyamin, and he said, you're going to take care of Binyamin. And now this is how you do it? You want to take him as a slave, as a servant? I'm the guarantor. I promised my father to bring back Binyamin. So we know Yosef started crying. He said, I can't stand anymore. He kicked all the Egyptians out of the room and said, I'm Yosef. Is my father still alive? He tried to appease them that I don't have anything against you. So Rashi brings down that Yehuda was very tough with Yosef. He said, you are like Pharaoh. That means if you make me angry, I kill you and Pharaoh. Yehuda is a tough guy, right? Yehuda is a strong leader. The fact that he goes ahead and he's the one talking to Yosef, out of all the brothers, he shows his toughness. He's a very tough person. He's the leader.
You can speak Farsi.
Huh?
You can speak Farsi.
You understand Farsi?
Don't worry. Please.
No. They understand English.
No, we understand English.
So
We can learn English.
So,
Farsi.
but he says something interesting. So if Yehuda is a tough guy, he's the leader, he's talking business to the king of Egypt, to Yosef, but then he starts lying. He says, no, Binyamin's brother is dead. Why do you say that? Say, he's missing, we don't know where he is. Why are you saying a lie out of your mouth? So Rashi says, because out of fear, he was motzi davar sheker mipa. He was saying a lie from his mouth. He was not supposed to lie, but he said, because you know why? He said, if I say he's still alive, say, I want to see him too. I'm going to find Yosef for him. So I better lie and tell this king, that the brother is dead. So right here we see a satira. What's a satira? Satira means a contradiction. One place, Yehuda is a tough guy. I'm going to kill you. Right? And other place, possibly later, he's afraid of Yosef. If I say something that's going to make you trouble, I have to go find Yosef. I can't do that. So he's afraid of Yosef. So which way is it? Is he a tough guy, not frightened, or is scared of Yosef? How do you put it together? Do you hear the question? So Rav Zilberstein says that usually people either are very mighty people, very strong people, they are very chutzpahdik, right? Or very calm, very baishan. They are always shy. They can't really talk. They're always scared. Right? That's the normal behavior of people. Either you are tough, like Yehuda, or you are scared, always shy. But he says the Gedolim, the great people, that's not their personality is not their what it, they present. That means they present only what's needed.
So it was needed that time to laugh.
No, it was needed to be strong. I'll be strong, right? I'm not a chutzpah person. I'm not a charlatan that I tell people what to do. Oh, but if that's the need, that's what I'm going to do. Really, I'm a very baishan. I'm a very shy person because I need to be a baishan. A Jew has to be like a shy person. I can't be a chutzpah. I can't have arrogance, right? Audacity to do whatever I want to do. Gedolim choose the behavior, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do there, right? One place, I have to just close my mouth and be quiet, I'll do that. Sometimes I have to speak up, I speak up. Someone says, you know what, it's not in my blood to speak up, I can't talk, I'm always shy. So there are many times that he has to speak up, he has to stand for a value he wants. Because he says, I'm a shy person, I won't do it. That's wrong. And some people, they're always speaking up, they're always making comments. Many times, you shouldn't. Be quiet. It's not your place. It's not your position to talk. But that's how I am. I always talk. That's not being good. That's not good. That's not the right way of behavior. Our Gedolim, they pick and choose. What's the right way of doing it? Is today, is this moment. I have to be angry. I have to show, some sort of push. Or I have to just stay back and relax. So in one place, when he's talking to Yosef, right away, same place, right? When he wants to say, "I'm going to say my brother." He says, "Whatever, I have to take Benjamin back. If you bother me, I kill you." When it comes to Yosef, why do you have to make another war for Yosef? I don't have to do that. So I just lie, I'm just going to, change the subject. I'm not going to use my strength on that. So it's very important. People say, that's how I am. No good. That's how you have to use it. Sometimes a person by default is a shy person. Sometimes you have to not be shy. You have to be very strong. Some people have a very strong personality. You have to be shy. Sometimes, you know what? I'm a very stingy person. I never spend money. Okay, maybe that's good for not, overeat or overspend on things. But comes to tzedakah, comes to doing something good, taking care of your family. You can't be stingy. You have to be, spending. Some people say, I always spend all of my money. It's not good. Then that means every night when I go to a restaurant, one steak, another steak, one, drink. So maybe that's the wrong way of spending it. A person have to make a balance. Where am I going to use my koach, my power? That's what Yehuda was. Yehuda, maybe by default was a very strong person, but that doesn't mean he always uses strength. Why do I have to make a war with him? Sometimes I have to be shy. I have to, I have to relax. So that's why they knew how to control different things. So we see when Yosef opens up and he says that I'm Yosef, the brothers are obviously very scared, very ashamed of themselves. But Yosef's reaction is very, very important. Yosef went through 22 years of separation from his parents, from his father, from his brothers, being in an exile, goes through jail, all bad things. But in the end, he says to them, don't be angry, don't be upset that you sold me, because Hashem sent me as a source of food for everybody here. It's a good thing that happened to me. Imagine your brother gets angry at you, kicks you out of the house, you lose your job, you lose your money, you have to go start from scratch. You don't have money to pay your rent, you have to sleep in your car. You have to wash dishes in a restaurant to make money, and then little by little become a big person and become a very high position person. And then when your brothers need you, you say, thank you for doing this. Hashem wanted me to get to this position. That's why He sent you to do what you did to me. That's called bitachon. That's called having a strong emunah in Hashem. We don't take back at people who did wrong to you. See the good Maybe a person doesn't see the good right away, but in the end, when it's good, you should know that good would not have come to you if everything was nice and dandy from beginning. Maybe the fact that I had to go and be under a lot of pressure and do things on my own builds me up. Imagine if Yosef never left his parents' house, he always stayed in, Eretz Israel in Canaan. What would happen to the world? What happened, to the Jew? What happened to the Yaakov? Who would starve to death? They didn't have any. Only because of Yosef, they kicked out Yosef out of the house. He was able to be advisor to Pharaoh and save the world, right?
But also it was God's plan too.
That's what he says. It's Hashem's plan. It was a good thing that happened to me. So don't be upset. We normally never forget bad things that people do to us. How much suffer I had because of you. The agony I went through every night, all the anxiety. I didn't have friends. I didn't have money. You guys have fun. But that's what exactly happened to Yosef. But he's such a bad bitachon. The Mfarshim talk about bitachon of Yosef is a very high level, very high madriga. Why? Because he didn't take revenge from them. He knew that Hashem is in charge. Something maybe very far from our level, but something to work on. Some level, to some extent. Person should know that bad things happen to him because of people. Should take it personal. Hashem wanted this to happen for a good reason. Another point, very nice point he said here. He says that when Yehuda was begging Yosef to go with Binyamin, said, please let Binyamin go with me. How can I go back to my father and how can I go back to my father and Hana'ar enenu iti, and the young boy Binyamin is not with me? He says that Mefarshim explained this in a different light. Avi also means Hashem. My father means Hashem. How can I go back up to Hashem and the young is not with me? How can I, after 120 years, I go to God? And Hashem says, what did you do when you were young? I say, he's not with me. I wasted my life when I was young. Right? This is a very, very important part of a person's life. Maybe for us, we passed that stage. But for our children, we should train them, we should teach them that don't waste your youth years, right? When you're young, you can learn Torah, you could do mitzvot. Don't waste it. When you go back to Hashem, Hashem's going to ask you for your nar, for your young. Where is the young? He says, I'm sorry, I only found out about you when I was 80. I remember you when I was very, very, very old. The person is young, should use all his kochot, all his power for Hashem. So he brings down a beautiful mashal that when Yosef told his brothers, don't be angry, don't be upset. It's Hashem.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid of me and don't get angry what you did to me. Probably they're going to be angry at themselves. What did we do this? What did we do that? So Yosef said, it's all because of God. Hashem wanted to do it. It's cheshbonot shamayim. It's the calculation of God. So when Ezra, a very big Torah scholar of 900 years ago, was asked once that how can you say everything is from Hashem? We don't understand it. Hashem has to do something that we understand. This is not understood. Why Yosef should go through so much suffering? I said, it was Hashem. I should be in pain for 22 years and then say, it was all Hashem. It doesn't make sense to us. So Ezra said, you guys, you never understand anything anyways. How can you want to understand Hashem's cheshbon, Hashem's calculation? He says, I tell you an example. There was once two Jews came to Ibn Ezra. They said, we were alone. These two friends are talking, and we were walking on a road. I had 3 loaves of bread, and my friend has 2 loaves of bread. And we met somebody, a third person. He was hungry. He didn't have any money, any food. So we said we're going to eat together. So we have 5 loaves of bread, right? And for 3 people. We all eat equal. After we ate and we were full, this poor guy takes out 5 golden coins, and says, I got 5 coins, right? So here you go. I want to pay you back. So these two start arguing. The first one says, I had 3 loaves of bread. I have to get 3 coins. You got 2 loaves of bread. You got 2 coins, right? The other one says, no, it's not fair, because this guy didn't know whose food he's eating. He was just eating from the bread. It should be half and half. I should get 1.5. You should get 1.5. They went to Ibn Ezra, and they said, who is right? We got 5 coins, 5 coins of gold. He put in 3 loaves. I put 2 loaves. Should I get 3 and he 2, or should 2.5 and 2.5? Yeah, Abe the accountant. So what's the cheshbon? So
Should be equal, I think.
So you have 2 friends, Reuben and Shimon, right? Reuben had 3 loaves of bread. Shimon had 2 loaves of bread, and there was a third guy, Levi, joined them, and they ate together. Now Levi paid 5 golden coins back. He said, "Here you go. I'm going to give you a gift." So how do you divide the 5 coins? Is it 3-2 or 2.5 and 2.5? One person put in 3 loaves, and one person put in 2 loaves, right? So. And they are fighting over the money, as always, fighting over the money. So Ibn Ezra said, you know what you should do? The one that gave in 3 loaves should get 4 coins, and the one who gave 2 loaves should get only 1 coin. He said, Rabbi, what are you talking about? I had 3, he had 2, right? I should get 4, he should get 1. I'm asking for 3. He's asking for 2.5. So I said, you don't even can calculate. It's such a easy calculation. You want to know what Hashem does? So I said, look, he had 5 loaves, right? And 3 people ate. So that means each one had a third of the food, right? Third of a loaf, basically. Each one has, that means we had 15 pieces, and each one had 3. Each one had 9. Each one had 5. So when I put 3 loaves, that means I put in 9 pieces. When this guy put 2, that means he put 6. That's 15 pieces, and they divided all 3. So I ate 5, you ate 5, and this guy ate 5, right? So when I ate 5 out of my 9, so somebody ate my 4 pieces of the loaf. You put in 6, someone ate your 1, right? So that means this guy, the guest, ate only 1 piece out of your loaf of bread, and he ate from the first guy 4 pieces of the bread, right? That's how you ate equally. So this guy is paying the first guy 4 coins, and second guy only 1 coin. So as I said, you guys don't understand such a simple calculation. To you, that's fair. And you want to know all the cheshbon of Hashem? Why you still have to go through suffering for 22 years? By Holocaust should happen to us. By the October 7th should happen. We don't understand. We don't understand the simple, things in our life. How can you expect to know everything from God? So, so a person should trust Hashem. He knows better than us. that's interesting point from Ibn Ezra.
ربای ببخشید من فقط میخوام متوجه بشم اون کسی که 3 تا لوف گذاشته 4 تا به سود میگیره
بله.
و اون که 2 تا گذاشته 1. اوکی.
So he brings down another story too. He says when Yosef hugged Binyamin, he cried a lot. He cried over Beit HaMikdash, Rashi says. He says there was once a grandmother who died, and she wrote in the will that one of the granddaughters should get $10,000 extra from the other grandchildren. So this grandmother, gave up her money to the grandchildren, but one person gets $10,000 extra. So they come to Rabbi and say, we don't understand why our grandmother did this. It's not fair. So they read the Savah, they read the will, and they find out that the grandmother was a Holocaust survivor, and she always told over stories about Holocaust. Right? And the grandchildren would listen to her. Always, every Friday night, would tell stories about what happened in Holocaust, camps, this and that. And she wrote that this granddaughter, when I said the story, always cried. The other grandchildren, understand, okay, nice story, interesting story. Nobody cried. Right? So this little girl would be crying every time the grandmother gave a story. So that's why when she died, she wrote, if you cry for my stories, get extra $10,000. So Zibberson said, if one cry gets you $10,000 extra from a human being, imagine our cry for Beit HaMikdash, how much more we get from Hashem. Right? There's the idea that a person should have more. Unfortunately, we don't cry, but the person prays. We have prayers in our Shemona Esrei for the rebuild of Beit HaMikdash, for coming Mashiach. Now, a person cries for that. Be sure Hashem will treat you well. A person should know that Hashem, if you cry for Hashem's house, He will give you the $10,000 from His account. One more point, unbelievable point, says that there's a Gemara that tells a whole story that there was a guy who was throwing all his stones to the street. It bases on the pasuk that says, "Al tirgizu b'derech." Do not fight in the road. Yosef told his brothers, "Don't fight in the road. When you're walking the road, calm, relax, just get to the destination. Don't fight on the way." So one has different ideas what it means. Shouldn't talk in halacha. They might get lost. They should always get home before it gets dark. Should leave town when it's already light. Don't travel during the night. Back in the time, there was no light in the roads. He wants to say there is an also idea of respecting public domain, respecting streets. So brings down a following story from Baba Kama, Dafnun. It says that there was a guy who was throwing out his stones to the street, wanted his house to be nice. So whatever garbage he had, was thrown on the street. So Rabbi Gamliel told him, one person told him, Reka, empty guy, why are you throwing from a place that does not belong to you to a place that belongs to you? He started laughing. He said, what do you mean? My house belongs to me. I wanted to make it clean. The street doesn't belong to me. I don't care what's with the street. Let it be dirty. Let it be full of stones. So after a few days, after some time, he was so poor, right, that he had to sell his house, his field, and Nebuch was homeless. He had to walk on the streets, right? Then he remembered, said, that guy was right. This is my place, and that was not my place. This is what belongs to me, this street. So in Yaakov writes, why did he call him empty guy? Right? So he brings down because Gemara says that Hillel Azaken told people, whatever you hate for yourself, don't do for other people. That's the big mitzvah of the Torah, right? That's the whole Torah. If you're full of Torah, if your head is full of Torah, you love other people like yourself. If you don't care for other people, that means I don't care what's happening. It's a little bit dirty. That means you are very, very empty. You don't have the big mitzvah in your head. One day you might need that street for yourself, and you made it dirty, you made it full of stones. He says that Ben Ishchai writes, we know it's a very important idea that every Friday night, when a person goes, two angels are coming to the house. From the shul to the house, two angels are with him. When he says Kiddush on the table, the Malachim kiss him and they leave, right? So you get the protection of two Malachim every Friday night you go to shul.
And you sing that song, Shalom Malachim.
Right. That's why you sing for the Malachim that came with you. Very good. So Ben Ishchai says that that's not only Friday night. It could be all week, right? As long as the streets of his town are clean and nice for the Malachim to accompany him. So if a person keeps the neighborhood clean, the angels are with him all week, right? So that Reshut HaRabim, that public domain, should be important in his eyes. Not only your house should be clean and neat. Don't throw your garbage on the street, right? He says that people who make the streets dirty, they don't care where to put the garbage, or the garbage bag is not tied, clean. Many times the garbage is outside, so all the trash can is outside, so all the neighbors have to smell what you put there. So you have to be mindful of other people. It's very, very important. Person should not be selfish. As long as my house is clean, I don't care what's happening in the garage, what's happening to the outside on the street. It's Chilul Hashem, especially if they see a Jew. So I know my Rabbi Minz Shelita should be well. I don't know if he does it now, but before he was this older guy. Every morning, 6:30, Shachil was 7:15 in yeshiva. 6:30, 6:45, he would go around the campus and pick up any garbage. He saw any cups, people threw cups in the campus, he would come with the garbage. So it's Chilul Hashem. People come to yeshiva, the parents come to drop off their kids, they see cups all over. Chilul Hashem. Maybe the workers would come at 9, 10 a.m., but said, people drop off at 7 a.m. It's not nice to see garbage in the yeshiva campus. It's Chilul Hashem, right? You have to be mindful. Unfortunately, some people, they leave the cup on the table, they never clean up. They drink, look at here. All the time. Why don't you clean afterwards? You had coffee, enjoy, the ta'avon, the shejun, clean up after. You have a coffee table, always garbage, and why?
Maybe they forget.
Because they're not mindful.
I always clean.
Would they do that at home too? It's a big problem, right? If my house has to be clean, shul belongs to a community. It also should be clean. Why not? Garbage drops on the floor, pick it up. You have a piece of cookie fell on the floor. Look, there's some areas I see always is garbage. Not mindful. I don't know if it's the same thing at home or not, but it says the Malach wants to accompany you, but make sure that it's a clean place that Malach wants to come. Okay. So when Yosef eventually got to see his father, right? So a few points here. He says that Hashem came uh, to Yaakov's dream on his way to Egypt, and he said, "Don't worry, Al tira merda Misraima. Don't be scared of going down to Egypt. Ki legoy gadol asib chasham, because I promise you, I will make you to a big nation. Anuchi ereti imecha Misraim." It's a very important line. I go down with you in Egypt. Right? So Hashem, when we are in Galut, Hashem is with us. Hashem said, "Anochi eret imecha Misraim." I go down with you. V'anochi alcha gam alo. When I bring you out, I'll also come out of Egypt. So whenever you're in pain, in tzara, right, in tragedies, Hashem is with us. Yosef will take care of you. So one point is that when Hashem promised Yosef, promised Yaakov that you become a big nation, there's an interesting Kile Yakar. At the end of the Parsha, it says that Bnei Israel were wrong, Jews were wrong by occupying Egypt all over. They became very strong in Egypt. They bought a lot of property. They got a lot of real estate. Kile Yakar doesn't like it. It says that they shouldn't have been so relaxed in Egypt. They should have said, "Oh, we're going to be here for a long time, so let's buy homes." Right? So my Rabbi says, I don't agree. He says that Hashem said that I'm going to make you a big nation. How can you live in tents for a long time? You have to have a house. So there's no problem to buy a house outside Israel. When the time is right, when Mashiach comes, you have to go. We sell our houses. Whatever Mashiach tells us to do, we do. So right now, you want to buy a house? Real estate is good. Interest rate is down. I don't know which one is better to buy a house. Interest is up or down. Sometimes it's better because less customers approaching. So you could buy. That's not a problem. Number two, so that's one point. Rabbi says that you're allowed to buy a house. You're allowed to, as long as you're not attached to the land and say, "I'm going to be here forever." Number two is that Yosef, Hashem said that Yosef is going to take care of you. He's going to put his hand on your eyes. What does that mean? Yosef had two dreams. What was the two dreams? One was that the bundles of wheat bowing down to his bundle, and number two, there were the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowing down. Why did Yosef have two different dreams? One dream was not enough. It's a nebuah, okay, it's a prophecy, but why do you need to have two different dreams? One would be enough. So Ramin says,
ببخشید جناب درباره کدوم دو تا از dream حرف بزنید؟ یکی اون the wheat، اون یکی چی؟
ستاره هایی که بهش تعظیم میکردن.
بله بله. Okay, merci.
So Ramin says that
So when you have to enter your password, then it says confirm.
Okay, so usually double dream is confirmation, but that's not for a nebuah. Nebuah is something they don't need double confirmation. Hashem says one thing will happen. But the fact that they bow down to him twice is showing something. So let me say there are two different levels. One is physicality, one is his spirituality. Right? Wheat, obviously, is physical, it's food. It's mazon, it's something you need to eat to survive. So Hashem was telling Yosef, your brother will need you, will bow down to you to give them food. So you go down to Egypt first to make sure you have enough food for the whole world, especially for your brothers, because they bow down to you. They need you for mazon, for michya. Right? Yosef said, Ki lemichya shelachani Hashem. Hashem send me for providing livelihood. I have to give you food. I give you food. That's number one. Then number two is stars. Right? What does the star mean? Star means spirituality. Heaven, close to Hashem. Hashem said to Moshe, Hashem was telling Moshe, Yosef, you go down, you make sure your brothers stay like stars. They stay spiritual in Egypt. They should not become an Egyptian. So we look at the Parsha, we see that all from beginning, Yosef designated an area of Goshen or Ramses, a neighborhood. So this place is going to be the ghetto, the Jewish neighborhood, Mahale, right?
Yeah.
No, all Jews. I want you to be separated as much as possible from them. Well, now, another problem is that his brothers, they look very strong, tall, good looking. Pharaoh would say, one of your brothers was very smart. Yosef was a very smart guy. Could be the gene. All of you guys are smart. Come work for me. Imagine Yosef taking all the brothers in the palace, and they
That
might.
would be the end of the Jews.
So what did he say? Torah says he took 5 of them, not all of them. Moshe לקח 5 אנשים. He took five brothers, 5 men. So the machloket, who were the 5? Remember we learned in Rashi. But everybody agrees they were the weakest ones, not the strong ones. Now the question is, who were the weakest ones? Some say Reuben, Shimon, Levi, and Issachar, Binyamin were the weak ones. Some say no, the other 5. Okay, whoever the weak were, Machlis, who were the weak ones? But everybody agrees that Yosef said, I'm not going to take the strong ones, because if Pharaoh sees you, says, you have to go and come work for me. You're already setting up that show yourself as weak people. We work with cattle, with animals. You worship animals, so you don't like us. Be separated, right? The fact that Yosef himself had a Jewish household, his wife converted, whatever it meant at the time. His 2 sons, Menashe and Ephraim, looked like a Yehudi. They would look like a Yid. They were not like Goyim. Yosef was preparing a Jewish status, a Jewish position for brothers to come. Before the brothers come, Yosef made sure that one day they come, they need me as stars. I have to make sure they stay as stars. So the 2 dreams, one was physicality, right? One was spirituality. So that's really a job for every father, every leader, right? He can't only provide physicality. So you know what? I make sure my son, my wife, my kids, my community have money. They could make money, could have a nice house, nice cars, nice future. That's part of it. That's not all of it. You have to look at Yosef and see, I have to provide the spirituality. I make sure my sons, my children, my grandchildren stay Jewish. They don't, assimilate. They don't lose their values, right? That's what Yosef did. And in a way, if it wasn't because of Yosef, the Jewry would not succeed in Egypt. Maybe they would assimilate all of them. It says 80% anyways assimilated after many years. But imagine Yosef did not set it up in this way, it would be 100%, maybe 99%. God knows what happened. So that's the 2 dreams of Yosef. One was to make sure the brothers are well sustained and they have, kalkala, they have food, they have a place to sleep, the physicality is taken care of. And number 2 was the spirituality, to make sure that they don't get mixed with Goyim. And even Sifono points out that actually Egypt would have been a better place for Jews to live than Canaan. Why? Because there was a big difference of eating food, right? Eating kosher is so important, because the Jews would eat meat and the Egyptians would not eat meat. They would not get along together. So Jews went to one area and Egyptians went to a different area. As opposed to Canaan, Israel itself, everyone would eat meat, so they would have been sharing food. So there was a bigger danger of losing the Jewish identity in Israel than Egypt. So that's why Hashem led them into Egypt. Okay, last point of the Parsha. When Pharaoh comes to see Yaakov, or when Yaakov comes to see, when Yaakov comes, Pharaoh meets him for the first time. He said, Pharaoh told Yaakov, Kama yemei shnei chayecha. How many are the days of your life? So Yaakov said, back, my years are 130, right? And they're small, they're too little and too bad. And I never reached the days of my father and grandfather's years. It's very, very bad. It's 130 years full of disaster. I had to run from my brother, from my father-in-law, Dina, Yosef, all
Complaint.
bad things, all complaints.
All complaint.
So
It got shortened his life, right?
Very
Because of
good.
this.
Midrash says, why did Yaakov live 33 years less than his father from Yitzchak? So Amalek HaShulchan, Hashem said to Yosef, אני הסתכם מלבן מעשיו משכם, I saved you from Laban, from Esau, from Shechem. I returned to you Dinah, even though she was captured, she was, violated. I returned to Yosef, ואתה אמרת, you say, מעט רעים חייך, your years were too little and too bad. חייך, I swear to your life, I'm going to take away from you the amount of words that he said, which were 33. Count from Vayomer Paro to Bimei Gurem. There are 33 words in the Torah. I don't know if Pharaoh spoke Hebrew at the time to Pharaoh, but that's the Torah writes 33 words, and Yaakov lost 33 years of his life to the complaint. So there are many, many points we could learn from here, but two main points is that Yaakov didn't look at the picture correctly, totality. He was looking at the years he lived, and it was so painful. Hashem said, in the end, I made it good. Maybe to you, it seemed bad, but it was good. It was, as I said, you don't understand Hashem's cheshbonot. You can't even know to give 3 loaves or 2 loaves. How can you find out Hashem's own calculation? You don't understand. Right. So don't complain. Hashem knows better. That's number one. Number 2 point is that if you look at there are 2 pesukim with 33 words, right? The first pasuk is Paro's question to Yaakov. Yaakov is quiet. Not saying a word. The second pasuk is when Yaakov is answering, says, I had a bad years. He's complaining. But Hashem took off from his life, even the years according to the words of Paro too. That's not fair. You ask a question, I should suffer for it? You hear the question? The 33 words is including
the
Paro's question. It's not fair that Yaakov should lose for it. I didn't complain. He is asking question. My complaint started when I started answering.
So what happened?
So Ramin says that must be Yaakov looks so sad, so upset.
That's why
that Paro asked, how old are you? How many people you see? How old are you? Is that the first question? He said, hi, shalom aleichem, how are you doing?
So old.
Please give a cup of tea. What'd you like? He said, as soon as Yaakov came to the house, he gave a blessing, shalom aleichem, Mr. Paro. The king, honorable king, he said, how old are you? Oh, he's so bad. It shows that it teaches us the way we face other people.
Present yourself.
People sometimes always complain, always like in a bad mood. Is everything okay? Everything's okay. But this guy never wants to show a happy face. Right? It says in the Mishnah Avot that should greet everybody with a happy face, with a smile. It's a mitzvah. A person should always greet people to smile. So, come to the room. Jacob told me, Jacob came with the crutches. I was smiling to him. He said, Rabbi, your smile is worth a lot. Like, what do you mean? He said, you're the only rabbi who smiles at me. So why don't you come to our shul more often? So you have to smile. Yeah. At least when you greet people, a smile goes a long way. Yeah. And Paro and Yaakov, he had a hard life, a long life, with a lot of turbulences. He went through a lot, sorrowed. And like this. And he didn't give a smile. And Paro said, well, how old are you? What's so bad? What's wrong with you? So it shows, we send a wave. When a person is happy,
Vibration.
Right, a vibration. A person on Shabbat, let's say, you see someone, say Shabbat Shalom with a happy face. You could say Good Shabbos with a happy face, right? But you have to send out that vibe. Positive energy. Oh wow, people should feel like, oh, this guy is a Jew. He's so happy. He's keeping Shabbat. To him Shabbat. It's a happy day. Shabbat Shalom. Yeah. Okay. So, and this guy talks about Shabbat, this is how it is. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm happy that I'm not keeping Shabbat. I'm happy I'm not the Jew to keep Shabbat. This guy is so upset. It depends how we present ourselves. Yaakov, maybe say it's very well understood. This guy was torn apart. He had so much sorrow. 22 years away from his son. Anyways, the way you show yourself is very important. Even in the most upsetting situation, person should be happy. Should at least. Now, it's not my fault. Something wrong with you. Why should I suffer your upset face? Show me the good face, the happy face. Sever panim yafot. Okay. Shabbat shalom u'varach.
خیلی ممنون ربای مرسی